Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac Show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed.
My name is Edward Callahan, and my partner, John Begazewski, and I have been so excited to be working with the Knights of Malta and their relief agency, Malteser International. I'm just blown away by the work that they do in over 100, with over 100 programs in 26 different countries. They are there. They are there when a typhoon hits the Philippines. They are there in Haiti for the earthquakes. They are in Syria right now. And they're still in the Philippines and in Haiti. Because unlike a lot of other organizations, they don't just come in and put a Band-Aid on it. They stick around, they stay, they help, they rebuild, they make sure that there's water, housing, they make sure that there's appropriate child care. Their commitment is more than I've ever seen from any other relief
organization. What we want to do
organization.
tonight is to really just start to share some of the wonderful things that they do to relieve people in times of their greatest need, whether it's in a war-torn area or a disaster has struck, and to really come together as a community on a warm Hamptons night and see the organization as it has.
Thank you, Steve. Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. Thank you, Ravi, Tripptap, and the Executive Director of Malteser. And a special thanks to James O'Connor, the President of Malteser Internationals as well. I am very happy to be here tonight and very briefly to tell you a little about the Order of Malta and particularly how that relates to the Malteser International. The first thing I want to say is the Knights and Dames of Malta. The Order of Malta is a religious lay order of the Roman Catholic Church, just like the Franciscans, the Jesuits, and especially the Benedictine order from which we inherit our religious.
Thank you very much, Joe. Joe was very generous with his comments, and I must tell you that he really has been my boss and the sub-priority, so we have to be always especially nice to him. But yes, I am the president of Malteser International. but in the American operation. And the American operation covers the entire Western Hemisphere, North, South, and Central America. Give you a quick moment of background. The genesis of Maltesia International took place in Germany in 1954, some 60 years ago. And it really was
Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here in the Hamptons, in Southampton, and we're here for the Knights of Malta cocktail reception. Isn't that lovely? Right here in Southampton at the Rogers Mansion, Southampton Historical Museum, and I'm talking to Ravi, your name is, right?
Ravi Tripptap.
Introduce yourself to the camera.
Ravi Tripptap, Malteser International Americas. I'm the Executive Director of the office here down there in Florida. We opened in November. We are the relief organization of the Order of Malta, working worldwide in 25 countries with 100 projects.
25 countries. Oh my goodness, that's all over, almost all over the world, right?
That's all over the world, mainly Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. Especially now, for example, with the crisis in Syria,
I know.
we are operating mobile clinics and on the Turkish side of the border, and of course all the health situation we take care of. We rebuild schools so the refugees can go back to normal life, and this is what we do there in this area. But of course also in other countries like in Asia, from the Philippines. Now there was another typhoon.
I know, I was just talking about that with the gentleman before, about this horrible typhoon.
It is,
It's horrible.
and you know, it was only a few months after the typhoon Haiyan hit last November. So people are trying to get back to life, to their normal life, rebuilding their life, and then the next typhoon is coming in. So we provide the necessary things, so like shelter material and safe drinking water in the immediate emergency
Which we
phase.
take for granted here in the Hamptons and on Long Island, of course. you know.
Absolutely, but you see in
We're
these
just so lucky that we really are very lucky here as Americans that we are so privileged to have all the necessary things to live, you know, and some of these people are really struggling, you know.
exactly, and this is what the Order of Malta is doing since 900 years. We help the sick and the poor, and right now we still help the sick and the poor, and especially those people who have no hope. So today here we do this event, Legacy and Hope. 900 years of history. We're still
Unbelievable,
modern.
900 years.
Yes, that is what we do.
How did you become introduced to this organization?
You know, I was born in an orphanage in India. I was adopted by a couple in Germany. Since I can think, I was thinking, how can I give something back? So I wanted to spend my time, full time, in giving help and hope to others, what I received before. And I found Malteser International. Malteser is very, very big in Europe, and they have the same mission and the same tradition. That I'm thinking giving hope back to people is what I want to do.
Well, somebody gave you a break, so you want to do that for as many people as you can do.
Exactly. And Malteser International is not only working in disasters, we also do development. Like we also go to places where others don't go. We go to remote places in the Sierra Nevada in Colombia, or to the border area between Myanmar and Bangladesh. These are areas not
That are
everybody.
dangerous, and people wouldn't step a foot in it, wouldn't put their toe there probably.
Exactly, and that's also difficult access. That it's not that you easily go there or bring the relief items. So that is one strength of Malteser
I
International.
would think you would need a lot of red tape and just to get invited to these. I mean, just to go and actually go to these countries. It's very political, and you would have to file all kinds of forms and all kinds of things just to go to those places for what you're doing.
Absolutely. For example, a country like Myanmar, we have to be, of course, kind of invited by the government.
Yes.
They cannot cope with all the problems they have, and so organizations like us can support and help them out. And of course, we are all agreements with the government to work in these areas and to work in the area of health, the water sanitation. This is all under the agreement with the government.
Terrific. Tell my audience where we can go to find out more information. What is the website?
The website is malteser-international.org, and there is all the information of all the projects, the organization, and the structure, and where we are and who we help.
And are you also on Facebook as well?
Exactly.
Facebook, Twitter, all of that.
All of these social media, we are there.
Fabulous. Well, I want to thank you very much. Don't go away yet. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to interview us, darling.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be back in a moment with more interviews coming up right here in the Hamptons. Keep watching. Pink Champagne Kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.